Don't want to go full speed on that. Well, Harbor Freight, so. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Nikito's Garage. On today's video, I'll be working on installing these BRZ seats in my FRS. As you can see, they're already installed, but we're going to rewind back a little bit and I'll show you in detail how I got them installed using the factory BRZ rails, just customizing them a little bit, doing some fabrication and welding, and you'll get to see all that in just a few minutes. Let's get started. So here are the two seats that I picked up. They're from my 2016 BRZ, very clean. The first one here is the driver's seat, and I've already vacuumed it because it's a little dirty. It was sitting in the warehouse, but they're in overall very good condition. The airbags have not been popped. Very clean seats. This one just needs a little vacuum. It's a little dirty, but anyways, we're gonna get these installed. The only complication is these rails don't exactly line up. They're a little too narrow. They're about an inch or so more narrow than the factory rails here on these seats. So what I want to do is I want to pull this passenger seat out, and I'm going to need to see what adjustments I have to do to make them fit. Let's get started by taking out this passenger seat first. Okay, to remove them, I have an impact gun, and there's the plastic clips. You just pop them off, put them out to the side. Same thing with this one, just pops out. You have two bolts holding it here. One here. Now you don't want to forget the plug right here for the airbag and the buckle. Get that off, you're good to take the seat out. So these rails actually have these little studs in them to help you guide them in place here and here. They don't have them in the back, so I'm curious as to how I'm going to make this work. Well, let's see. I wanted to compare the two seats. As you can see how much lower this one is compared to that seat. I don't know if you can see that, but it's much lower. It's at least 2 to 3 inches lower than the factory seat. And this seat would actually keep you in it, in those corners, because of the side bolstering here. It's very nice. So, and they're lighter too. I can feel the difference, how much heavier the stock one is compared to the one from BRZ. Even though this one has airbags, it has airbags in here. So, yeah. Alright, so I got it grinded off, took it out, cleaned it up. These two, what do you call them, pins or whatever, they don't want to come out, and I don't want to ruin it, so I'll just put a flat bar on here and we'll just weld it onto here. It'll be alright. Okay, so update time. I've cut both of these tabs off, grinded them out. You can see right here, this side didn't come out as pretty, but it's okay. because I'll have a piece of flat bar go underneath here and it's going to get welded. This is how it sits right now. It's going to be a little higher because this piece is hitting on the carpet here. So once we add a piece of flat bar under here, it'll be just enough to where it's not going to hit. And if anything, I can always put some washers underneath here and to raise it up just a smidge. Another thing is the wiring right here. This is a 3-wire, so I'll have to figure out the wiring because these seat belts have airbags and I believe the Scion seat belts do not. So the only thing this does is tells you if somebody's in the seat and has a seat belt on or off. So I'll have to look at some wiring diagrams for the BRZ and see which wire goes where. The 2 yellow ones here that you see, they're for the airbags. And although this one does have a green and a striped white one in there as well, and this one has a green and a striped white one, but this also has a pink one. I'll need to see what all these do and see if maybe I can put a jumper in it or something, just to kind of trick the computer to thinking that the seat belt's on. So that's that. Now my brother is a welder, so he'll be assisting me with this. I'm gonna go to my dad's place. He works at a metal fabricating shop, and I'm gonna get some 1/8 inch thick steel to use for this, and what's it called, get this done. Alright guys, so it's been a couple of days. I was waiting for some parts to come in. I had to wait for my dad to make some brackets for me as well, because he's busy at work. He can't just step away and make those brackets for me. So anyways, like I put the seats out again. I had to put them back in because I had to use the car for work, but I took it out. My plan now is I want to pull the whole carpet out, and while I have it out, I want to shampoo it, pressure wash it, clean it. It kind of has a funky smell to it. I'm not sure what happened. Previous owner might have spilled something on it. It smells bad, so I'm gonna pull it out and clean it. As far as the seats, they're right here. Hopefully after today they're not going back in. Alright, so I got the carpet out. There it is. Let's go see inside here. It's pretty, not too bad. A little bit of water here, moisture collects in here, so that needs to be cleaned out. Everything's a little bit wet under here, which is why it's causing a little musky smell. Some nasty stuff right there. Gonna clean out the center console area here. Use a brush and some all-purpose cleaner. Let's see here. All right. Well, that's that. All right, so I've done all the cleaning off camera. It's looking a whole lot better, especially the center console compared to what it used to be. That driver's side floor pan, that brown stuff there, that looks like some kind of glue residue, like where the sound deadening pads or whatever were glued on top of that. It's just the residue that like dirt and stuff stuck to it. It ain't coming off. I tried to using my all-purpose cleaner and it's not doing anything to it. So just gonna leave it as is. The stench is pretty much gone. I don't smell that nasty smell anymore. So what I'm gonna do is just gonna spray some Lysol this whole floor pan here, just to kill any bacteria or anything that's in here. It's gonna help with the smell as well. And then we're gonna put the seats in and fabricate the brackets for the seats. I got everything sprayed down with Lysol. I'm just gonna leave the doors and pop the hatch open just to get maximum air through there and let it all air dry, and then work on the seats, finish the brackets up. All right, so I'm test fitting the seats in here, and here's how we're gonna do it. My dad made these brackets for me. Well, this is a 1/8 inch thick steel by 1 3/4 inches, and they're about 4.5 inches long. If anybody needs to know the measurements, there they are. Here's the plan. Stick them under here like this. It matches the hole. We're gonna get it welded onto the bottom of this rail. My brother's coming over with the welder. He's gonna weld it under here, drill a hole. This does need a slight bend right here down the middle here. We need to bend because this hole is at an angle. So we need to do a small bend, maybe 15 degrees or so. That's easy. All I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna drill a hole down the middle here, bolt it down, and then use a hammer to bend it until it gets to the right angle, until it gets to the correct angle to where it's flush up against the rail. And that's it. Do the same thing on the other side. The same bracket will work. 1/8 inch steel is gonna hold this like nothing. Besides, the distance from the rail and the hole is like maybe 1/4 inch or so, maybe a little more, 1/2 inch. So it's gonna be really strong. Now if it was further away, if the rail was welded here and the hole was right here, then yeah, it'll be a little flimsy. But because it's so close, it ain't going nowhere. It's gonna be just fine. So let me get started on that. First things first, I'm gonna put these two in a vise like so. I'm gonna drill some holes in them. I've got a total of 8 of these brackets, and let me show you how it's going to be in the back. So this is the rear. The hole, as you can see, is right there. So my plan is to put a bracket under here. I'm gonna have to cut this one a little short, cut this bracket cut it off a little short, weld it on like this, and put a hole in it, pretty much. Something like that. A little bit longer than 1 3 inches, maybe 2 inches. Cut it down to 2 inches. Go under here, weld it, put a hole in it, and secure it down once we get the carpet and everything in. So that's the plan there. This one here lines up perfectly, so we're just making the 3 of them fit. Okay, so I'm starting off with the 532's drill bit. Spray it down with some PV blaster to lubricate. Not too bad for a Harbor Freight drill bit. Gonna step it up to a 1/4 inch. Alright, as you see, that goes much faster. And then the final size is 7/16. If you want to know, it's perfect for this bolt. The hole is going to be slightly bigger than the bolt, and that's fine. That'll give me room to play a little bit. Man, I'm surprised these Harbor Freight drills, their drill bits, they're doing really, really well. Like, very good. I wonder how long it'll last me. Now I'm going to deburr this. There's a little bit of lip sticking out here. So. Alright, here's what we got. We got one. Lines up pretty much perfectly. The second one also lines up on the money. So I'm going to bolt these in. They're going to come up a little bit. The seat's going to come up a little bit, but I'm going to bend it back down to where it's flush with the rail. See what I mean? How it comes up. All you got to do is just lean on it, and that's it. Alright, so both sides are marked up, ready to be tacked on. I gotta say, man, these seats look so good in this car. Okay, so I started cleaning the carpet. You see how nasty that water is. That's just water. There's no soap in there. I just sprayed it with water. They spilled some nasty stuff on here, and this thing reeked so bad. So I'm so happy I'm getting ready to get this cleaned out. I'm gonna fire up my pressure washer right here and use some laundry detergent mixed with some water, spray this down really good, let it soak, and then pressure wash away. All right, as you guys just saw, I finished washing the carpet. It came out really good. There was so much nasty brown crap coming out. It was like Coca-Cola color, you know, like just pouring out of the carpet. So it's all clean now. Let it dry out in the sun, and we're gonna move on to finishing up the seats, welding the brackets. All right, it's getting ready to weld the first tack. Use my old pants. That's that. Sweet. All right, so we got these brackets right here in my vise. This is for the rear, so I'm gonna cut both of them because drivers and passenger side, they're the same exact setup. They're pretty much mirrored, so I'm gonna cut it using a sawzall. There we go. Got two identical pieces. Ready to get welded in.
So, you see what I'm doing right now?
So he's marking perpendicular lines on the hole, and that'll tell you where the center of the hole is. Watch this. Little tips and tricks for fabricating.
Yeah, so just eyeball, like, because I can move this bracket left and right, and I just use those lines because they're gonna be under the carpet, so who cares? So here's the center of the hole. Drill it right there and weld it in.
All right, so I got the two brackets. We're gonna drill a hole in the middle, get your hole punch so you can center the drill perfectly. And once again, we're starting off with a 532's drill bit, and we're gonna step up 3 more drill bits. This is Harbor Freight best drill bits, so don't want to go full speed on that. Well, Harbor Freight, so that's the second one I broke already.
You got one more? Let me drill it.
I mean, they're $19 drill bits, so.
Sweet.
Perfect. Not bad for Harbor Freight drill bits once again. All right, so this side here, the one close towards the tunnel here, it's a little too low, so I just cut up a piece of leftover 1/8" steel. It's gonna go under here, just like that. Boom. Now it's perfect. Okay, we're getting ready to weld in the last piece for the passenger side. And then the driver's side seat, I'm gonna do off camera just so we can knock it out real quick and not have to film anything. It's the same process, just mirrored, that's all. Okay, another thing, so when the seat is set up and everything, this bracket here that holds this piece of carpet that goes around here, hooks up on here, it hits the floor of the car. So what I'm thinking of doing, just cutting it here and here and removing it, and then this piece right here I can either cut it because I don't really need it, like nobody's gonna see anything, right? Alright, so I got the seat out upside down on my ladder here, got everything covered up so the sparks don't hit nothing and ruin my seat. So we're gonna go ahead and weld it.
Paint. Come on.
Alright, so all these brackets are done. Got them painted. I used the high temp caliper paint with the chemical brush. Like that, got them painted up. So they're good to go. It's not the prettiest, but it's not ugly and rusty looking. Alright guys, so I got the carpet back in. Got the center console all assembled and in. Next I'm going to put the rear seat back in because it's easier while the front seats are out. I'm going to do one more pass with a vacuum cleaner because there's a little bit of sand that's in the carpet. But I gotta tell you, the smell, night and day difference. It doesn't reek at all whatsoever. It smells fresh, smells like Tide, because I used water and Tide, soak it in and pressure washed it. So the carpet, it actually looks really good. The color came out looks like brand new. So all right. Alright guys, so after installing these seats, I realized that the passenger side seat belt and the factory BRZ buckle works, right? But the driver's side doesn't. The seat belt does not buckle in here. So it's kind of weird. I didn't expect that. So I need to pull the seat out, remove this buckle, and swap it out with the buckle that's in the original Scion seat. So once you get the seat off, this plastic cover needs to come out. I believe it just pops. It should just pop out. There we go. Just so you can get to this wire here. It goes here. Little clip right here. Need to remove that. This one here, just follow the wire and just take this wire off for the buckle, and then replace it with the one from the Scion. Okay, so the buckle in the Scion follow the cable, and then under here it's like spliced into these, but I believe this is the one for the buckle. So we need to use a razor and cut it out from here, you know, to leave this airbag plug in here. I also had somebody tell me that the 06 and up Scions have the airbags. Normally, if the seat has an airbag, it'll be like SRS stamped on it somewhere. This doesn't have it on either side. This is the driver's side seat. I am not sure if it does have an airbag. It ain't here, that's for sure. You know, normally they're in the upper area. You know, so there's nothing here other than bolstering. I don't believe these seats have airbags in them. The only thing that I see here is this connectors for the buckle to turn off the what's it called, the seatbelt light when you buckle in. This one here that goes to it as well. There's a black, white, and a black wire here, and then the gray and the green wire. The gray and the green wire goes here, so that means that's for the buckle. The black, white, and the black one goes here, and that looks like to be just a sensor to let the computer know that somebody's in the seat. I don't think this thing has an airbag in it. I had somebody suggested to put a resistor, so once I plug in the seat belt buckle plug here and the, I don't know, let's call this airbag plug, the resistor will go right here. Alright, so I got the buckle in, direct bolt on, wires and all, and I am looking forward to the comment section about the whole airbag in 06 Scion TC, because there are two versions of a 2006 Scion TC. There's one that's made, like if you look at the sticker on here, it'll say 0805. There's one that's made before that, right? And there's one that's made after. I'm not entirely sure, but they're different depending on the date of manufacture. So that's why I'm lost. I'm not sure, because of the factory seat plug. It's a 4-pin, and I tried to look up wiring diagrams, and they're what's it called? I don't know. Maybe I wasn't looking at the right thing. I couldn't find much information. And they do. The wiring diagram does say there is a front seat airbag, and I guess it does have an airbag, but I'm sure there are more knowledgeable people, and I'm sure you guys will let me know in the comments for sure if there's an airbag in that seat, because I don't know, I couldn't tell that there's an airbag in that seat. It just looks like just all upholstery, that's it. I know these seats have airbags in them for sure, but Alright, just to recap how I got it mounted. So the one closest to the outside of the car, you can use that hole. This one here, I had to make a bracket. For the front, also brackets. Everything bolted in. 4 points using the factory threaded holes for the factory seat rails. So if I ever sell this car, I'll take these seats out, keep them, and put the factory seats back in and plug everything in. And here's what I'm talking about. Sorry, SRS airbag, right? Now I want to go look at the factory seat, see if I can see it anywhere in the plastic side of the seat. Now, typically if the seat has airbags, it'll be something stamped on here, and I don't see nothing on any sides of the seat anywhere that says SRS airbag. I've looked and looked, I did not see nothing. So, which leads me to believe that there is no airbag in this seat. Normally they're stamped. Nothing. Nowhere. No stamp. Now, for example, this is a 16 Avalon. Right here. It says airbag. Right? So I know Toyota marks their seats if they have airbags. So I don't believe this one has an airbag. Alright, so I know I have a airbag light on, but I also have a blinking seatbelt light because I don't have a seatbelt on, so as soon as I plug it in, that goes away. Now for the airbag light, it's kind of confusing. So the symbol is showing me a front airbag, as you can see, the steering wheel. So basically what that means is that the steering wheel airbag is disabled because the vehicle, the computer doesn't sense that somebody's in the seat. So we need to enable that, and I'll be installing a resistor, and I'll show you how to do that when it comes in. That's going to be a separate video. But as far as this goes, I'm pretty much done. The passenger side works just fine. The passenger side seatbelt indicator doesn't blink. Like I said, I don't even have the seat wired in, so it may be I should change the buckle on this one as well, and I think that's what I'm going to do next. I think I'll change this buckle for the Scion one and plug it in. Alright, well, that was a little bit more work than I thought I was going to do. I had to pull out the carpet, I had to pressure wash it, clean it. When I took the seats out, I decided I might as well take everything out and clean everything out, because I did have like some kind of a stench in the car. It was pretty bad. It's not so bad anymore. There's a very, very slight scent that's been left over, and I'm thinking it's the headliner that's up here. Maybe it's like the smell kind of like soaked into it a little bit. It's not too bad, so I'm hoping that'll go away soon. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate the likes and the comments. Also looking forward to hearing from anybody that know more about the airbag situation with the factory Scion seats. As you saw, my Scion was manufactured 08-05. I know there are different dates that they are manufactured in 05. But this is a 2006. On the title it says 2006. So for 2006, I think they manufactured them in two different there's two different models that were manufactured for 2006 and 05. And one of them did not have airbags, and I think mine was the first 06 model that was manufactured. And I am not sure if my seat has airbags or not. Like I said, I looked at it very thoroughly. I did not see any indication that there's a airbag. Normally on the seats, there's like engraving on the plastic siding or on the seat itself, it'll say SRS airbag. Mine does not have any of those. So if you're a Scion owner and you have a like a 07, 08 or up, like a newer Scion, let me know if your seat has a what's it called, SRS airbag written on it somewhere. I'm just curious to know. But anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Next video I'll be working on in a few weeks or so is I need to pull the motor out of this car. I'm going to be replacing the clutch. I'll be replacing the valve stem seals. We're building the head pretty much. I've checked the compression. We did a compression, and it was like 175 psi in an all 4 cylinder, so it's not too bad. From the factory, I believe it was like right around 190. So I'm a little bit down on the compression, but I'm thinking it's because of all the carbon buildup that's on the exhaust valves, and the exhaust valves may not be sealing properly because of that. So what happens is when you have bad valve stem seals, the oil will get on top of the exhaust valve from the seal. It gets burnt up, causing a bunch of carbon, and then your valve doesn't seal 100%. So we're gonna relap those valves, clean them, possibly buy new ones. I'll have to see. I mean, the car runs good. I don't have any issues with it, other than it's burning a little bit of oil. So yeah, next project is gonna be a big one. It's probably gonna be a 2 or 3 part video where I pull the motor. My older brother's gonna be here. He helped me weld these rails in. So he's going to be here with me. We're going to be pulling the motor, putting it on an engine stand. While the engine is out, like I said, I'm going to try to do as much as I can to it. Replace every single seal. Previous owner of this vehicle recently replaced the timing chain with the 10 new tensioners, new guides and everything, right? So we'll double check all that. The only thing I didn't like is that he used the blue Felpro gaskets, and he used the blue RTV that's meant for water pump. It's like the blue one, and he used that on the oil pan, and he used that on the chain cover as well, and I don't really like that. So while we're in there, we're gonna do everything right. So keep a lookout for the next video. Once again, thank you everybody for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace.